Welcome to Boxing Predictions, and today we're talking about the heavyweight championship of the world. We're talking about Deontay Wilder, and we're talking about Tyson Fury, and why I believe Tyson Fury will knock out Deontay Wilder. And we'll try and run through all of the essential points of this super fight. So I'd like to invite you to let me know what you think about that initial statement and all of the comments surrounding this fight in the comment section below. And please consider subscribing to this channel. So we've got Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. It's taking place at the Staples Center in Los Angeles on the 1st of December. Now, I've just been out to LA, and I've been to the Staples Center a couple of times whilst I was there to see a variety of things. And I think it's a really cool venue. It's pretty steep around the sides, so they should be able to generate some really, really great atmosphere for this great fight. Now, this is a fight that I believe is for the true heavyweight championship of the world. Officially, we've got the WBC strap on the line, but in Fury, we have the last lineal champion who is undefeated. So there can only be one outcome based on those facts. So let's start by talking about the resume and experience. Both guys undefeated. Wilder with 40 out of 40 and Fury with 27 out of 27. Having both turned pro around about the same time, around 10 years ago, but we know Fury has had a number of periods of inactivity. The first thing to point out is that both resumes do not have the depth of top talent, and it is, in my opinion, that at present their contemporary Anthony Joshua actually has a better resume than both of these two guys, as I feel his last four outings in Klitschko, Callum, and Povetkin collectively are better than any four opponents Wilder or Fury have faced. Okay, but having said that, the very best opponent that any of them have had is the 2015 version of the great Wladimir Klitschko that Tyson Fury so expertly dispatched with relative ease. So delving a shade deeper, I would have to say that Luis Ortiz is the next best opponent that Fury or Wilder have faced. But there's a lot of caveats with Luis Ortiz. You know, as with all of these guys, he has faced even thinner levels of opposition, you know, and against some of these opponents in recent years, they've been less than impressive performances despite the victories. Okay, and of course he is a repeat PED cheat. Okay, so we're talking about very, very thin resumes. We can see that, you know, since Wilder became the WBC champion, he's defended it, I think, 7 times, and the level of opposition that he has faced has been exceptionally poor. Exceptionally. I mean, for me, he was expected to comfortably beat every single person that he defended comfortably, and I was expecting brutal knockouts in just a couple of rounds in almost every single defense. You know, so that just shows you very, very thin resume, very, very low level of opposition. But it's the same with Fury. You know, we've got this phenomenal fight in and performance against Klitschko, but when you delve deeper and you're talking about, you know, people like Derek Chisora being like his next best opposition, cruiserweight opponents, you know, it's not a very deep resume in my opinion. You know, and as I say, it's always tricky to really have a genuine assessment of fighters, regardless of where they are in their careers, when they're undefeated and their CV resume is exceptionally wafer thin. Okay, and for me, this is the primary reason, in my opinion, why Wilder is not over with, you know, the majority of fight fans. So let's actually start looking at these guys and start deciding how and why it's going to go. Okay, so let's look at the size, because this is actually an interesting factor in this fight. You know, Wilder's 6'7" with an 83-inch reach. Fury is 6'9" with an 85-inch reach. But there will be, you know, a weight discrepancy. We've seen this, you know, throughout the years. Despite Wilder's size, he is very slender and light for a super heavyweight. Usually comes in around the 220, sometimes less. Whereas we know that Fury will come in around about the 250. Okay, so whilst the weight disadvantage, if you may, that Wilder would have, he's kind of had that throughout his career, but he hasn't always fought guys as big. He's never fought anyone as big as Fury. You know, we can see that he fought Washington and Duhaupas in recent years, who were, you know, sizable guys, but not as big as Fury. And whilst Wilder dispatched them, they were two of his more challenging fights. Whereas Fury has had big opponents, obviously in the great Wladimir Klitschko and his last fight, Pianeta. But, you know, he outboxed both of them with relative ease. But despite that, I'm not so sure that size will have any factor on this fight. So let's talk about the skill sets, the styles, and how we can see this moving forward. So most people believe that there are only really two factors or two outcomes of this fight. So based on Wilder's phenomenal knockout record, which is 97.5%, you know, and even the guy that he didn't knock out, he took on in a rematch and dispatched him very, very easily. So based on that, people think that it's either going to be a Wilder knockout, or based solely on Tyson Fury's performance against Wladimir Klitschko, that Fury wins by a decisive points decision. And, you know, these are fair assumptions, and it's hard to disagree with them based on all of the fights that we've seen of both men. So really, we have one huge question. And that huge question is, will Wilder land a big bomb on Fury's chin? Because we know if the bomb lands, you know, it's a 99% chance that it will end. Well, the first question really should be, will Wilder land anything? And for me, the answer is yes. Against Klitschko, Fury frustrated him, made him question his own skill, and he was actually frightened to let those shots go. And you have to think, will Wilder be the same? And I'm not actually convinced. We know that he's unconventional in his approach, in his style, the way that he throws those shots, throws those bombs. I think he'll land. I think he'll throw. I think he'll land. And we saw even in the Pianeta fight that he actually landed some shots on Fury. You know, even he, with limited skill, was able to land a few shots. But what you have to appreciate is that those shots that he landed were never that clean. He took them on the shoulder. They grazed him. You know, he was able to, just to make it that difficult. You know, Fury's movement is unusual in the heavyweight division. He moves around the ring with variety and speed, and this is very frustrating for all of his opponents, okay? His body and head movement are second to none in the heavyweight division. And, you know, this allows him to make his opponents miss. Something that we know Deontay Wilder has a reputation for, okay? Now, for Fury, the main problem that he has is not that Wilder can land on him, okay? It's that he himself lacks power. He lacks concussive power. So Wilder will not, and I repeat, will not be frightened of taking shots from Fury. So when you think about how to tire someone out in the ring, we generally have three schools of thought. You hurt them with debilitating or concussive punches, okay? So this is something that Fury just won't be able to do, particularly early on and in the middle rounds. There won't be those one punches that hurt Wilder. You can hold them, you can drag them, you can pull them, you can wrestle them, you can do all those sorts of tricks that Wladimir Klitschko made famous. Again, I just can't see Fury doing this. Even when he does go in close, he doesn't hold and grab and pull. It's almost like he's trying to, have a sense of, he gets in close and he wants to just put his head in the face and kind of almost take risks, which would be very dangerous. Or the third point is you zap their energy by making them miss, making them move, making them chase you. Okay? It's the art of boxing. Hit and not get hit. And this is why I believe it's going to be a boxing clinic. Wilder has never faced an elite boxer. A boxer who has legit movement in all departments. Wilder has a history of missing, and he's only fought stationary targets. Stationary targets. So over the course of 12 rounds, I believe that Fury will outbox and outmove Wilder convincingly. And at some point, I genuinely believe that he will get the stoppage. Tyson Fury will get the stoppage. He will wear Wilder down, from perpetual missing. And eventually he will land some shots, whether it's a referee stoppage, there will be a stoppage here in favour of Tyson Fury. Ortiz showed that Wilder can be hurt with some skill, but what we are talking here with Tyson Fury is a whole new level. I'm really looking forward to this battle of two of the very best heavyweights that we currently have. To date, I have always predicted wins in every single fight that I've watched of both fighters. So I'm a fan of both guys, and I've predicted them from day one to win all of their fights, So it's interesting that in this case, I had to select one as they were coming together. Now, I predicted that Fury would become a world champion nearly 10 years ago, when almost every single pundit on the planet, professional or otherwise, was saying that of all things, he lacked boxing skill and he wouldn't even be capable of beating John McDermott. Now, a lot of time has passed since then, and a lot of people have been forced to change their mind on Tyson Fury. But here we go. The big fight. The WBC title's on the line. The heavyweight championship, I believe, is on the line. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. My opinion is that Tyson Fury will stop Deontay Wilder. I hope it's a great fight, and I hope the best man wins. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Jump down to the comment section. Let me know what you think, and give me that big thumbs up. We'll see you soon, guys.